It's so chaotic. I have to wake up very early. I have to feed the baby. 5:30. I get myself ready. Then I need to make sure I get my toddler ready, make sure my husband wakes up. What is it really like being back to work from maternity leave? And I'm going to share with you my experience. Now it's 8 months postpartum for me, and I've been back to work for 4 weeks. And it hasn't been that bad yet, just yet, because what I've done is negotiate a staggered return to work with my employer, whereby now we are in October. In October, I would go to the office 1 day a week, and then November, December, 2 days a week, and then from January back to normal, 4 days a week in the office. And I also have Fridays off from my annual leave until the end of the year. So that is really good, and it helped me mentally, knowing that I will go back to work and I will have a bit of break, a bit of time to adjust to having basically no time with the children and all the time dedicated to work. So obviously from January it will be another ball game, but I don't want to think about it now. I know that I have still a few months of getting adjusted to being back to work. Okay, so first day back to work was fine. I went into the office 29th of September, and I actually vlogged that day, and I'm gonna post it as soon as I can. And obviously the challenge is breastfeeding, because I'm breastfeeding my baby, and I'm not planning on giving it up anytime soon. I'm all for extended breastfeeding. So I've been pumping at work. I have Elvis tried, and I'm pumping at work. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward, especially because I've done it before. This is my second time going back to work from maternity leave. So it's much easier than the first time. And so breastfeeding is fine, apart from the fact that the baby is not really taking the bottle. I leave milk for him at home for my mother-in-law to feed him, but he's not really taking the bottle, which is funny because he's eating quite a lot, and if he's having a bit of milk, even if it's a tiny bit, it's okay. I'm feeding him in the morning before I leave, and then in the evening when I come back. The challenge for me is the commute, because I live outside London and my work is in London, and my commute is door to door about 1 hour and a half. So that's 3 hours a day. So I have to leave around 5:30 in the morning, and I'm back around 5:30 in the evening. So that's a long day being gone. And my toddler is going to nursery 4 days a week, because remember, I have Fridays off, and it's a very long day for him as well. And when he comes home, he's very tired, and I need also to prepare myself and everybody for the next day. So I have to prepare the clothes and my breakfast and my toddler's bag. So I don't have time to spend with him too much. And even if I did, he's very tired. I can't really engage with him. He can't focus on anything. So that's a challenge. That's really a challenge. And I remember that the first time I went back to work and he was a baby, because I had only him, it was much easier to play with him when I was back from work. But this time round, it's very different, and I really miss him, and I'm grateful for the Fridays that we're gonna have and that we're having together. So that's with the children. Also worth noting that the baby seems a bit restless when I'm away in the office. I think he misses me. My mother-in-law says that He's very clingy towards her. He doesn't want her to leave him at all. She can't do anything. As soon as she leaves the room, he starts crying, and I'm thinking probably he's thinking that she's the only person that he has, and he's afraid not to be left alone because I'm not there. But when I'm working from home like today, even if I'm not with him, I'm working, it's okay because I see him in the morning, I put him to sleep, I breastfeed him throughout the day. Like now he's just gone to sleep. It's midday. I fed him, I put him to sleep, and now I'm also taking my break from work, which is how I'm able to make this video for you and for me. When it comes to how am I feeling about work, it's actually not that bad this time round. First time it was really horrible because there was a lot of change happening in my department, and I went back there and I was handed a lot of work that I didn't know how to handle. I didn't have the expertise, and it needed a lot of effort to handle the data, and I didn't have the time to do that. And I'm really grateful because my manager was then hired shortly afterwards, and she has a lot of experience and she managed to organize everything. And now going back to work, I knew what I was going back to, and with my manager there, I just basically resumed my role after 7 months of being away, and nothing in terms of processes and procedures changed. Everything was the same as I left them because I'm in charge of doing this in my department. I work in a brokerage firm in London. So it was really easy, and I could remember almost everything, how to find this and that. So I fitted right in straight away, pretty much straight away. So that was really good. And obviously, on the one hand, I miss my children a lot. And on the other hand, when I go to the office, I feel like a normal person, if that makes sense. Provided that I had a good sleep the night before. Because most of the time I can't have a good sleep. I have to wake up and feed the baby. The first couple of weeks, I couldn't wake him up to feed him. He wouldn't feed in the morning. But now he's waking up much often during the night, so I'm not worried about the breastfeeding side of things. But I can't get proper rest myself. So as long as I'm rested, it's actually a break for me going to the office, especially because working from home, I can't go out as much as I used to, so I'm not as active as I used to. Although I'm still doing my workouts. My workouts are a big part of my life, and it's something that I will never stop doing. As you can see in the background, I have my bike, I have my weights, and you can see my some of my fitness videos, which I'll keep on posting because it's a big part of my life. In terms of food, I have this pretty much standardized, or if you'd like, automated. So I've automated these parts of my life that normally take a lot of time and thought process, like food and exercise. So in terms of exercise, I do the same sort of things on repeat. And in terms of food, I pretty much eat the same things on repeat. Easy to prepare, healthy food, nutritious food. And yeah, it's working. It's working for me so far. And the other aspect is, what do I do about chores? Like laundry and cleaning and food and these sort of things. Well, I mainly do them on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and sometimes 5-10 minutes when I take a break from work, I can clean one of the toilets, I can do a small task. So what I do, I have on my phone notes on what I want to do in the next few days, and I strive to do 1 or 2 things per day so that I have them staggered throughout the week. So I just need to be organized and on top of everything in order to make sure that the house is clean, that we have food. I'm meal prepping for the baby. My toddler is eating mostly what my mother-in-law is cooking. I'm also eating sometimes what she is cooking because other times it's not exactly what is part of my diet, either because it's too oily or it's too carby. But for example, if she cooks beans or these sort of things or meats in the oven, I would eat that. The real challenge is gonna be from January on. I'll have to be back to work 4 days a week in the office and 5 days a week normally, so full time, and so many days in the office, and it's gonna cost me lots of time and lots of money, because also the commute from where I live to London, if I buy a season ticket, so a yearly one, it costs over £4,000 a year. I don't know if I'm gonna commit just now for a year. I'm probably gonna start with a monthly ticket and take it from there, but it's a lot. It's £400, over £400. And yeah, it's a challenge. It's a challenge money-wise and time-wise. So what is happening in the mornings, it's so chaotic. I have to wake up very early. I have to feed the baby. When I say very, very early, it's normally 5:30. I feed the baby. I get myself ready. Then I need to make sure I get my toddler ready, make sure my husband wakes up so that by 6:45, 20 minutes to 7, we are already in the car and ready to go. Yeah, because my husband needs to drive me to the station to get the train. Yes, it's very challenging, and these are my personal circumstances. It may be different for everyone, especially if you work locally. It's much easier. Unfortunately, I can't find the type of work that I do in the town that I live in. And yeah, it is what it is. So definitely this time around, this second time round is much better than the first time around. The first time around, mentally, it was horrible. It was so horrible. I was crying many weeks before I started work and then many weeks after I started work, because I couldn't spend as much time with the baby. It was really bad. This time I just knew what was waiting for me. I had the previous experience and it wasn't as hard mentally for me, especially because I had a lot of support, and I have a lot of support from my manager, and because I knew what I was going back to. I have many things to be grateful for, many things. While it's hard and it's challenging, we can't lose sight of the things that we need to be grateful for, because there are so many. So many. For once, we have a job, we can pay our bills, we are healthy, we don't live in a war zone, which this is the most important thing that I'm grateful for. I can't imagine living in a war zone. I just can't. So I'm extremely grateful for that. I'm extremely grateful for the support I have from work. And by the way, nobody at work knows about my channel, so I'm not just saying that. It's very important to keep a positive mindset. On this note, let's not forget to be kind and grateful. Speak soon.